So we're doing the last drive. We're gonna take a couple videos as the sun's coming down. It's not fast by any means, but it's very incredibly fun to drive. I love this car, but I love the diesel motor also, so I'm gonna make it one. How? I don't know, but it's gonna happen. Yeah, so the diff leaks, it's open diff. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I replace it. Ideally large case, so it's plug and play mostly. Mickey Mouse some drive shaft stuff until we can get a single piece made, one piece solid drive shaft. As of right now, we're just kind of enjoying it. Alright, so these are some door handles that I made. I'm missing the little guide clip right here, but as you can see, it literally screws in factory hole, and then you pull this and it releases it. It works pretty good. This is just a proof of concept. I do have sheet metal ones pre-bent. We're going to try those here later on, but everything else looks pretty good. Check this out. It's in gear right now. Yeah. So we're gonna source a manual transmission for the diesel motor. We're gonna go over the entire plan, actually probably in this video too. Maybe if I'll put the plan up beforehand. We're gonna run the tank almost empty. I think idle's stupid smooth, you know. So this motor's gonna go to someone. They're gonna get a good motor. It's definitely not gonna be me unless I find a go-kart chassis or something. Okay, so the way that this is gonna go is driving this car for the last time, not today, but maybe Sunday. It's currently Friday. So we're going to drive it one more time Saturday to get the gas a little bit lower, and then the final time, so we're actually gonna drive it on the street, is gonna be Sunday, bringing it back to the shop if all goes as planned. We're gonna retrofit a lot of the E90 things into the car, like the push start, the keyless entries. This car has it, so it shouldn't be too hard to wire it up to make it work with the BMW stuff or the E90 stuff. So at the final step of this car will be cosmetic. So my expertise is all mechanical, electrical. I am gonna try to do all the body work on this car. I really want to, just to say I did. That's one of my things that I've always wanted to be really good at, but I don't want to do for work. Pretty much the breakdown is, this motor's good. We're gonna sell it, try to make some money back. We're gonna cut to this clip after the car's done. I want to have as little money as possible into like the base, so like the chassis and the motor and all that stuff. Everything else is gonna be extra stuff. So like I want to have electric power steering, but it's gonna be the, you know, the hydraulically driven power steering, but it's an electric pump from like a Volvo. So I want that. But like stuff like that is, it doesn't really matter, because when it comes to like bare bones stuff, I have the motor, I have the chassis, I have the harness, I have the fuel pump, I have all the wiring, I have, well, probably, I think I have like 20 something pounds of wire that I can use if I need to. We're going to try to integrate as many things as we can from the E90 chassis. So secondly, if that's even a word, so second, we are gonna try. I was supposed to do this last week. We're gonna try and scrap the donor car, the E90, because it's just taking up space, and I want to start this project already. So here's the plan. I have all the chassis reinforcement stuff, so we're gonna do all the chassis reinforcements on this E36 because the torque in that motor is not gonna. It's not gonna do very well. It's not gonna. Wow. This chassis cannot handle that amount of torque. I don't think it can. So we're going to reinforce everything. We have the PSM strut brace. We're gonna reinforce the crap out of the car. So I'm gonna have to get one of those weld-in cages because it's gonna, safety stuff too. There's a garage band playing. But pretty much the game plan is we're driving this car for the last time this weekend. With the way that it sits. So the motor that's in it, it's an M50 single Vanos. It's been swapped previously by previous owner. Runs great. There's really no problems with it. It throws a check engine light, but it still runs fantastic. And then it throws, I think it's O2 related. Once the light goes away, the idle dips, and then it runs great again, which really isn't a problem. So I put 63 miles on it since yesterday. I'm gonna have to plan everything out because I really don't like just going all willy-nilly, even though that's kind of the way that I do most of my projects. So as soon as I get home after this video, we're gonna sit down at the computer, we're gonna break down everything that's really necessary, and then the wants, and then the maybes. So cosmetic stuff is not my playing field. I like to dabble, but when it comes to like body work, I can't paint. I'm not a painter, I can try. Worst case, I'll do all the prep stuff and I'll just have someone else paint it. But mechanically, that's my thing. Mechanical and electrical stuff that's kind of where I feel most comfortable. Especially electrical. I really like sitting down and doing all the wiring. So I already have all that done. I have the DDE. I have all the necessary modules for the car to start in a box. Once I tear this car apart, it shouldn't be too hard. Mechanically, so in terms of mounting, I do need European E36 diesel arms. I can make the arms, it's not a problem, but the angle, so getting the angle that the motor has to sit at and the positioning, so like the tilt and then this kind of positioning, I really do want it to be pretty close to factory. There's a couple swaps on Facebook, a couple guys in Europe, but I don't know how they did it, so we're gonna do a lot of more research. But when it comes down to it, the best way I think is to just start working on it. But the main, what's stopping me right now, nothing, it's just me. I am stopping myself. I have a couple customers booked out, so I have to schedule around that. I do have a full-time job as a mechanic, so it does get pretty tiring. So I work at work, and then I go to my shop and I work on the project cars and other customer cars, which is how I fund these builds. You can see the two X5s I have. The black one will likely be getting sold here soon. I do have to get rid of the Cayenne as well. I don't think the Cayenne's made an appearance on this channel, maybe at the beginning of this video. Other than that, I mean, overall, it's just me. I have to do it. This is probably going to be the most boring episode of the entire build because we're just kind of doing all the logistical stuff. We might break down all the cost. We'll see. I know people like to pocket watch, so I need a script. But pretty much that's what's going to happen here. This is going to get the M57 out of my 335D donor, which is probably also in this episode. So hopefully everything's going to work out pretty good. I know it's going to be a lot of work. Perfection is going to be very hard to not chase. So what I'm going to try to do is get the car running, get it driving, make sure that it can hold the power, that nothing blows up, which I have a feeling we're going to go through a couple diffs, a couple axles, maybe a couple revisions trying to figure out what exactly is going to be the best solution to hold the power. I know the motor's going to hold up. I had this car sitting around. I knew what I wanted to do. I wasn't 100% sure on how to do it, but you know, that's the only thing you got to do is just do it and you figure it out later. So that's what this car is for. We were running out of daylight, so we're headed back home. These headlights kind of suck. So, perfect world. I'll get this running and driving by end of the year. Or perfect world, I'll finish this week, but it's not gonna happen. So I'm aiming to get it running, driving before like winter time, and I'm not talking like February. Maybe, probably let's call it December, winter solstice, December 21st. I want to see if I can get it moving under its own power. Is it possible? I think so. So I'm gonna break down the plan actually when I get home on the computer, because I did make a list for the X5, and the X5 list I have pretty much completed. I have it somewhere in a backpack. I will show you if I can find it. But look at that, beautiful. So we'll see how that goes. Definitely we'll need some softer suspension. This is pretty stiff. It's not great. Alrighty, last couple things on the donor car. We have to drain the rest of the fuel tank, which is, it's got about half a tank. So I'm gonna take this panel here and probably sell it to someone. A lot of people do like the flat trunks like the E36s do, but this is a factory flat panel that gets rid of the little tub that a lot of the 328s have, I believe, and 335s. This one's got some fluid in it still. So we're gonna pull off this little hose connection, which is super, it's not brittle, but it's definitely firm. And then other than that, we're probably gonna pull off all the fuel lines too, just so we have hard lines and these connections are here if we need to. That way we can at least switch to a standard style or, yeah, I think that's fine. I think once the car is further down, I'll pull the shocks off just so I have stock suspension, because you never know. We are gonna have to pay for this project somehow, whether that be another car flip or side work or main work, but we're gonna make it work. The 1 Series needs top hats because they're blown out. I hit a pretty big pothole, so that kind of sucks. I bought material for the headliner, which I guess I'll make that a separate video, but not really. Everybody does it, so it's not that big of a deal. It's just a lot of little things that I have to do. So yeah, let's do that today. All right, so we got the tank out. We drained a lot of the diesel. I put some of it in the X5. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I'm gonna have to clean up a lot. I gotta take out, once again, we're gonna scrap this car. We're gonna clean up all the E90 parts, put them on shelves, pull the transmission off the motor, maybe get the motor on a stand so I can work on it. Hopefully we're gonna have some actual E36 stuff going on, because a lot of it was just prep. So have a good one. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. Yeah, have fun. Comment, let me know what you like, what you don't like, and then we'll go for that.